You train your body. You lift weights. You run. You sweat. You pursue strength, size, and speed. But what about the mind? What about the inner fortress? The quiet command center behind your eyes? Marcus Aurelius said you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the Stoic path. Not just physical strength, but mental fitness forged in silence, in discipline, in discomfort. This is how modern Stoics train. Not just to survive, but to lead, to endure, to rise above. Let's begin. The world trains you to be reactive. Social media, news, notifications, noise, noise, noise. But the Stoic trains himself for stillness. He builds a mind that does not flinch, that does not beg for escape, that does not crumble under pressure. Because in the end, it's not what happens that breaks you, it's how untrained your mind was when it happened. Mental fitness isn't a luxury. It's the foundation. A weak man can lift weights, but fall apart at rejection. A strong mind can walk through hell and not blink. Every morning, Marcus Aurelius wrote, not for others, not for praise, for himself. When you rise in the morning, tell yourself. He started with reminders. That people would lie. That life would be hard. That he needed to return to reason again and again. Modern Stoics journal not to complain, but to confront. Journaling is mental weightlifting. You take the chaos in your head, and you sort it. You take your fears, and you name them. You take your day, and you set your intention. 3 questions to ask every morning. 1. What will I face today? 2. What virtues will I need? 3. What kind of man do I want to be by nightfall? And at night. 1. Where did I win? 2. Where did I fall short? 3. Where will I improve tomorrow? That's how you train the mind through reflection, not reaction. Stillness is a weapon. In the battlefield of modern life, stillness is your edge. Meditation is not escape, it is engagement. With your breath, your body, your thoughts. The Stoics didn't call it meditation, but they practiced it. They paused. They reflected. They created space between the stimulus and the response. In that space, you choose to act like a slave to your emotions, or a general in command. You don't need incense. You don't need an app. You just need to sit and observe. Every morning, 10 minutes. Breathe. Feel. Watch the chaos and let it pass. That's training. That's control. That's the calm within the fire. Your mind is soft because your life is soft. But a Stoic chooses discomfort on purpose. Cold exposure isn't a trend. It's a test. Every time you step into freezing water, you meet the voice in your head that says, I can't. And every time you walk through it, anyway, you teach that voice who's in charge. Cold showers, ice baths, early mornings. These are not punishments, they are discipline rituals. Seneca wrote, set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, is this the condition I feared? Cold reminds you. Comfort is a weakness when it becomes a prison. Pain is a gift when it becomes your teacher. Modern Stoicism is not about sitting in peace. It's about becoming fireproof. Voluntary discomfort is choosing the path most avoid. Walk instead of ride. Fast instead of feast. Wake early when your body begs for more sleep. Sit in silence when your fingers crave the screen. You are not punishing yourself. You are training yourself. When the crisis comes, you've been here before. You've practiced this. You've made friends with hardship. You don't panic. You perform. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's the forge where virtue is born. Every man wants strength, but only a few are willing to train for it on the inside. Here's how the modern Stoic trains. Awake with discipline, not dopamine. No phone. No distraction. Straight to your practice. A journal with clarity. Face your thoughts. Don't run. Don't hide. A sit with yourself. 10 minutes. Nothing to do. Nothing to fix. Just be. A do hard things every day. Cold showers. Difficult workouts. Uncomfortable conversations. A delay gratification. Prove you are the master, not your urges. A practice presence. With people. With work. With every breath. This is how you build a mind that doesn't break. A mind that endures. A mind that leads. Why you must train your mind. You train your mind so that when the world shakes, you don't. You train your mind so that when others complain, you lead. You train your mind so that when life hurts, you endure. Because the war is not out there. The war is in here. In the silence. In the discipline. In the hundreds of small choices no one sees. That's where warriors are made. That's where legends are forged. Not in the gym. Not in the crowd. But in the mind. A chiseled body without a trained mind is decoration. But a trained mind, even in a broken body, is a weapon. Do you want peace? Then train for war inside. Train with journaling. Train with silence. Train with discomfort. Train with cold. Train with solitude. The world will not go easy on you. But if you've trained your mind, you won't need it to. This is the Stoic way. This is the Stoic Spirit. If this video sparked something in you, if you're ready to go beyond the weights and train the mind, then like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share your morning ritual. Tell us how you train your spirit. Let this message reach the men who are ready to rise.